Hello folks, welcome to the second episode of Job Board Spotlight. In this episode, I have Wouter Meen, founder of 𝗕𝗏𝗄𝗃𝗀𝗃. We are going to unpack how he bought £3,000 job board domain and a blog and converted into £125,000 per year business with 95% margin and zero spend on ads. So welcome to this episode, Wouter Meen.
Thank you for having me.
Let's get to know Wouter a bit. Would you like to introduce yourself? Tell us a bit about you.
Yeah, sure. I'm 32 years old and I live in the Netherlands, in a small town between Rotterdam, maybe you heard of it, and The Hague. For the past 10 years, I'm running a sort of project/temp agency business. And about, I think, 4 years ago in 2021, I started my first job board, which is 𝗕𝗏𝗄𝗃𝗀𝗃. Yeah, and that's, I think, the reason why I'm here.
Thank you so much. So let's dive into that. You bought 𝗕𝗏𝗄𝗃𝗀𝗃 in 2021, and at the same time you purchased a blog as well. And you combined both of them and created a whole business out of it called 𝗕𝗏𝗄𝗃𝗀𝗃, right? So can you walk us through that decision? How did you come up with this whole idea, and how did you merge the blog and job board into one business?
Yeah. Well, the first reason was actually pretty basic. I just wanted to start an online business. The moment I started actually was maybe a little bit sad. I was in the hospital after the birth of my first daughter. And after she was born, we had to spend like months in the hospital for some surgeries and stuff. And I actually was bored because there was not much to do. There was a lockdown because of COVID. And I thought, well, I have the time right now to maybe start a side project, which I did, obviously. But the first thing I already had figured out with my other business is that the name and the domain name is, I think, very important for an online business. So there were already a couple of names in the Netherlands that were occupied, and 𝗕𝗏𝗄𝗃𝗀𝗃 as well. But I could reach out to the owner because he was doing nothing with it, basically, and I could buy it from him. But then on the other hand, I also knew from my other business that, in my opinion, is organic traffic. And in the Netherlands, that's Google. Like 95% of search traffic back then in the Netherlands was Google. But I didn't want to start from zero. So I thought, well, maybe I can just buy a blog about sustainability. So I reached out to maybe like 10 different blogs in the Netherlands, of which I checked, of course, the data and stuff, to see if they were open to sell the website to me. And there was one specific blog that responded to my outreach, and we made a deal for almost €2,000. Then I combined the domain name, which I bought for €750 from a Dutch person, and I just redirected it in one name, and we are good to go. That was basically the way we started.
Awesome. So is there any key points to take care? Let's say if any person owns a newsletter with 1,000 followers or 10,000 followers, and if they want to start a job board business, what is the tip you are going to provide to them?
Yeah. Well, I think like 1,000 followers or newsletter signups or maybe 10,000 is like really nice. And I think it should be more than enough to start. However, I have to say that like these numbers in the Netherlands are a little bit different. Over here in the Netherlands live a little bit under 20 million people, right? So if you have like over here 10,000 newsletter sign up, that's already very, very much, and more than enough to start a job board. Actually, my first way to go would be not think in like how am I gonna convert those newsletter readers or the people on my list. I think the first step is just a step back and think like, okay, well, what is the target area over here, and like, are there any competitors? So for example, if you want to start a remote IT job board, there are pretty much companies doing that. So you should ask yourself, like, is there value add? But for me, I saw like there were maybe one or two serious competitors, but I thought, well, there was at least space for one more. So I think looking at competition to start, then look at the sector. Like, is this a growing sector? Is there a lot of interest? Are people in the sector online active? And then from there, just start the basic site. Don't make it too complicated. Just a site, homepage shows all the jobs, a sign up page, a job post page, and that's it. And then from there, you can basically see, like, is there any interest from companies or job seekers into my, into the job board actually. Yeah.
Awesome. So I saw your X post, and you have mentioned that job board don't actually sell job posting; it sells attention, right? So what does your attention stack look like? How do you sell this attention to employers or candidate?
Yeah. Well, I think that if I talk about attention, it's actually only a couple of things. It's like organic visitors, which you like to convert in like newsletter signups, job alerts, or companies that post jobs. Then in case of sustainable jobs, I think LinkedIn is where my target audience is. So that's really important. So see, like, can I grow the followers over there? And then imagine, like, on sustainable jobs LinkedIn, I only have like 5,000 followers. But if you look at the profiles, it's all like real Dutch people having a good job in the Netherlands, right? Maybe 5,000 followers in the Netherlands is like the same as having like 50,000 maybe in India, you know, because the audience is so much bigger. And from there, it's just like I focus on those three targets. So I want to see daily newsletter signups. I want to see daily growth in the socials, and I want to see daily or monthly growth in the organic traffic. That being said, I see right now the point where I am, like almost all important search queries on Google, for example, I already have like a top 3, 4, 5 position. So that's not really growing anymore. I think the biggest part of the growth right now just comes from people getting to know us. So a big portion of the people posting jobs just say like, hey, I post jobs because I heard about sustainable jobs. I follow your content for a while, or I signed up for the newsletter a year ago. So I think brand awareness and a brand name is also very, very important. Just people knowing you. Yeah, basic stuff actually.
Okay. So then if I have to rank that, the first ranking is Google. So Google is your primary acquisition channel. Then comes the LinkedIn, and then comes the word of mouth, right?
Yeah, I think that's the best way to say that. Yeah.
Awesome. So now let's deep dive into each three of these. If we talk about Google, right, the ACO is the key game here. So how are you managing the ACO for the job board? What are the key insights you have seen while building sustainablejobs.nl?
Yeah. Well, actually, there is a guy on X that I already follow for a while. I think he's an Indian American guy. 𝗕𝗿𝗄𝗃 is his name. Maybe you heard of him. He's a SEO guy, and basically what he says, and that really worked for me, is I start with I basically had like a WordPress website with job listings, and then I started creating content and building like backlinks to that content. And that content, basically the blogs on the website, create value, and that value is actually transmitted to category pages. So let's say sustainable jobs / energy transition jobs, sustainable jobs / animal rights jobs, sustainable jobs / nature and environment jobs, etc. And those are the most important pages on the website. And now comes the trick, which I figured out, which really interesting, I think, is that if you have a page like, let's say, sustainablejobs.nl / energy transition jobs, who search for those keywords on Google? It's people looking for jobs, right? You would say. But the other group that's searching for those keywords is companies seeking new hires. Because, like, let's say you're an HR manager and you have this energy transition position open. Probably you go to Google, type in energy transition jobs, and see like what job boards will like come forward in like the first 1, 2, 3 spots. And then you think, hey, if I found this one, probably my potential candidate will find this platform as well. Let me post there. So those are by far the most important pages on the website, the job category pages. Yeah.
So, what I hear from this is job category pages is not just important for candidate, but that is also important to get the employer traffic on the website or employer sign up on the website. That's a really great insight.
Yeah, I think that was the sort of aha moment. And I just figured it out. I figured this out when I think the first maybe 50 paid jobs that came in, I just sent an email to the companies. Hey, this is Wouter from Sustainable Jobs. Like, can you just tell me, how did you find me? And then like a large portion of those companies said, well, I was searching for this on Google. And I'm like, hey, that's just the same query, the same keyword a candidate would look for. A job seeker would look for. Yeah. Very interesting, right?
Yep, that's really interesting. So I want to deep dive a little bit more when you say that you created a lot of content, right? So what is your content bucket look like? Like, do you post news, interview, guides, etc.? And how frequently do you post blogs on the website?
Well, actually, in the first maybe year or so, I created maybe 100 pages and blogs with titles like what is a energy transition manager, or where to find environmental jobs, or what kind of jobs are there in ecology, you name it, right? So just the basic kind of content, content where the potential audience is looking for in Google. But actually, the last 2 years, we didn't really created a lot of those content anymore. We created a lot of lists, like the most sustainable companies in the Netherlands, or most sustainable initiatives in the Netherlands, stuff like that. And that's great content, by the way. We get tons of traffic on those blogs. But the last year or two, we just started doing interviews with companies. So we just reach out to companies to say, hey, we are this platform, or you already posted jobs on our platform. Can we do an interview with you? And that's really cool content, because it's very specific about a specific company. We don't have to write the content ourselves, and it is a way to connect with those companies, which probably get them to publish and spend money on the job board, so yeah.
Definitely. And candidate actually likes this kind of interview because they get to see what is there in the company actually when someone is speaking to that person who is working in the company, right?
Yeah, so like interviews, like what is it to work at XIZ company, Yeah. Yeah.
One more thing I want to deep dive is linking category pages with the blog, right? So many times I see a lot of job board creators or job board founders doing this mistake that they build a lot of category pages or a search query pages, but they don't internal link it with their blog. So how important it is according to you?
Well, I think it's fundamental. I think it's absolutely fundamental to connect your high ranking blog content to your category pages. Yeah, so the most important part, it starts with like high quality content. And so if you have a lot of content that's just not as interesting, and it's not well written, and it's maybe AI generated, it won't do as well as like high quality content, right? And then that's what I said. Like I learned via X from this guy 𝗕𝗄𝗃, that building backlinks to those blog posts is very important, because there you create value inside the website, and then that value is transmitted to the category pages. Yeah, so that's a little bit the strategy.
Awesome. One more thing I usually say to all the job board creators is SEO for job board is little bit different from SEO of other websites, right? Because in job board, your job posting are very dynamically changing. It is expiring every 30 days, 60 days, and you cannot have quality backlinks on actual job posting, but you have to have it on the category pages or your different landing pages, I would say. So according to your experience of running job board for past 3 years, what is the difference between ACO of a standard website and an ACO of a job board?
That's a good question. Well, actually, there was a moment 2-3 years ago that was like, hey, doing SEO for a job board is actually easier than for a normal website, right? And the reason for that is that till this day, and I don't know how this is in other countries, but in the Dutch search engines, like Google for Jobs is for free.
Yeah.
So like I use WordPress with Job Manager plugin, which is optimized for Google Jobs. So the moment I start posting jobs on the job board, the traffic starts to come in via Google. So that's the first thing. And yeah, I don't know actually if that's maybe easy for the first traffic, right? But I don't know the biggest difference with other websites. I would say in the basic SEO is maybe the same. It's hard for me to say like if there's a big difference.
So I have seen one major difference is pushing jobs for indexing through Google Indexing API, which is not available for normal website. But when you are running a job board, you have to have a Google for Job integration through Indexing API.
Yeah, no, that's true. I think there is a sort of comparison to be made between actually e-commerce website with product category pages and job category page. I think that's the little bit, I think, yeah, there's some overlap in those, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. So when you started sustainablejobs.nl, how did you attract first 1,000 candidates and first 100 employers? Have you asked them to pay for the job posting? Have you asked employer to pay for the job posting, or you have given them job posting for free?
Yeah. So we started actually with, so we started in, I think, March 2021. And then for the first 9 months, we sent out messages on Instagram to companies and said, well, to companies in the Netherlands, it's an important thing. And we said like, hey, we are a new job board focusing on sustainability. For the next few months, it's free to post jobs. And basically, that brought in the first 9 months, hundreds and hundreds of free job posts. And because we got those free job posts, we had like jobs to share in the socials, and yeah, traffic started to go up, and then job alerts started to come in, and yeah, so that's how we tackled the cold approach, just sending out messages and offering the job board for free. I think a big mistake a lot of job boards make is trying to make money with it from day one. That's also why I probably won't start another job board ever again in my life, because like going from 0 to 20K in revenue, for example, is really hard. But then maybe half that effort takes you from 20 to 50K. So it's just better, yeah, to focus on an existing job board or buy an existing one and try to grow it, then start something from scratch. But then like every situation is different, right? If you already run a newsletter with maybe tens of thousands of subscribers, it's understandable if you connect a job board. So not all should listen to me, right? But yeah.
That's really good. To all our viewers, we have all the messages which Wouter sent initially through Instagram and LinkedIn to all the employers. We have added a link to that in the description. Do check it out. Thank you. Moving on, so running a job board usually is very profitable business. It is said to be, right? So can you walk us through your OPEX, your unit economics of running a job board currently?
Yeah. I think there is money to be made with job boards, and in my case, I certainly do. But I think that the most important part after revenue, of course, is cost. I think a lot of job boards just make way too much cost, and that's also why I'm so focused on organic traffic. But if you take a look into my cost, I have them over here. All my job boards are WordPress websites, which use Job Manager plugin. which is free. I pay like 25 euros a month for hosting. I use Elementor for parts of the design, which is 10 euros per month because I have like this agency license for all my websites. I use a couple of plugins like Gravity Forms and Yoast SEO, which are like maybe 100 per plugin per year or something. It's not much. The child team I just coded myself. I created that myself, and then the active campaign for the job alerts is like 100 per month or something. So my total costs are in the hundreds of euros, but not in the thousands or something. It's really low actually. And that's also why I'm so focused on organic traffic, because I think one, it's high quality traffic, but it's also free traffic, right? Yeah, and thanks to that, I can make a good income with the job boards next to my other business.
Definitely. So basically, you are spending around, let's say, 500 euros per.
Yeah, I think I would say like 350 a month, 350, 375, something like that. Yeah.
Okay, and you are making around what, 10,000 to 12,000 euros a month?
Yeah, I think it's important to note that like I have a network of job boards, and Sustainable Jobs is by far the largest share of the revenue, but it's doing around something like that. Like, total job boards like 10,000 a month, 10, 12,000 a month.
Awesome.
And part of that is subscriptions, by the way. So we sell a lot of subscriptions on top of the job post. Yeah.
Awesome. Now let's deep dive into your revenue stream, right? So first is paid listing. Do you also sell a candidate database, like employer can access your candidate database? What are the other revenue channels you have on your job board?
Yeah, actually, there are only three revenue channels. So the first is just job post. The second is we sell and more. This has become a pretty big chunk of the revenue, I can say. It's backlinks and content. So companies paying us to publish content in our blog because our domain rating has grown, etc. And then the third stream of revenue is like selling packages, so companies can publish an unlimited amount of jobs. Yeah.
Awesome. Now, so AI is the new hype today, right? Now, if we talk about AI, what do you see where the future is for a niche job board? How AI can be useful? How you are planning to implement AI in your job board?
Well, I can say that's a little bit the $1 million question because I don't have a clear answer on this. I remember the first time I saw 𝗕𝗏, for example, I became a little bit nervous because I was like, "Hey, this is really great for searching stuff, right?" But that's the whole That's the whole fundament of my business. So, so far, I haven't really seen any decline or something in my organic traffic. Actually, I'm right now in the process of trying to scale sustainablejobs.com. So sustainablejobs.nl is focused on the Dutch market, and I already want to build like an international platform for some while now. And I've seen some job posts coming in via 𝗕𝗏 on sustainablejobs.com and sustainablejobs.nl, which is really cool. So right now I'm really focusing on what can I do to become better known within like AI search engines. So I can get traffic over there as well from like candidates and companies. But so far, I don't really have I don't really see a big shift so far. But I know how fast things can change in the internet landscape. Yeah.
Definitely. So, are you getting any traffic from ChatGPT right now?
Yes, some, and it's growing. It's growing, but it's not like a big chunk or anything. And that's, of course, like I want to see much faster growth in that. Yeah.
Definitely. Now, let's talk about how you are pricing your job board or more. What are the different experiment you have done around pricing in your job board in past 3 years? And what was your learning around that?
Yeah, this is also very interesting. So we started with a €175 per job post, which is about the same in terms of like US dollars. And then I think in 2023, I upgraded the price of the cheapest job post from 175 to 275. And then we have like the Spotlight package, which costs around 375. It's actually interesting to see that we sell as much Spotlight job post as normal job post. What you see is that like companies are more inclined to spend like on a more expensive package than on the cheap package.
Okay.
Yes, that is very interesting. And then the second insight I had is selling unlimited subscriptions in the first year or so. It didn't really work out. And then what changed, because like right now I think we have like 25 companies paying for unlimited amount of job posts with all certain pricing, etc. We sell that because we just do a personal offer by email. So normally it was, hey, check our website, the pricing page, and you see the price for the package. And then back then no one was interested. But if I sent an email to, hey, 𝗕𝗃𝗃𝗃, this is Wouter here. Normal price is this, but I can offer you for the first year this and this. Then it started to convert. Yeah. So some personalization on that part.
Understood. So are you sending these emails to new companies, or you are sending this to an existing company who is continuously posting on your web?
Yeah, so what I see and what I do is if companies start posting jobs on my website and they basically keep posting multiple jobs, at a certain point I just say, hey, I love all the money you spend per job post, but it's much cheaper if you just buy the unlimited package. And I can give you a special discount because you already posted so much, for example. Yeah.
That's good. Awesome. Now, so this is the last stretch of the podcast. Let's go through a quick lightning round where I want you to answer as quickly as possible to all the questions I'm going to ask. Okay.
Okay.
So, the first question is, which one growth lever you underestimated in past 3 years, which is now helping you grow the job board really well?
And how do you say it? Which growth lever or?
Growth lever.
Yeah. Organic traffic, 100% organic traffic. Yeah.
Awesome. Which is the biggest mistake you did, which you don't want any new job board founders to make?
Starting with a custom job board software. I think that's not the best idea. I think you should start with something you can customize much more. Yeah. I think that's the biggest mistake. Next to probably going for the wrong name or the wrong sector or all those things. But you want me quick answer, so there you have it.
Which is the best KPI any job board founder should obsess over for first year, second year, and third year?
Yeah, I'm inclined to say cost. So, and I say cost because you probably, if you spend time on it and enough time, you start to make money. But if you like your costs go up with it, probably it doesn't make any sense. You're just wasting your time. So what the biggest KPI would be like revenue compared to cost. Yeah. It's very basic stuff, I know, and there's not like a digital marketing KPI or something, but I think that's the most important stuff. Try to grow it without spending all this money. I think that's the hard part. Yeah.
That's really, really nice. So I think that's it for the podcast today. If you have any last words for all of our viewers, would love to hear you.
No, I don't really. Thank you, and maybe I'm going to try to do this built in public thing with sustainablejobs.com. So maybe you can follow that on X, Wouter Meen. And that's about it. I think I've nothing to add. So
awesome. So thank you so much, Wouter, for joining us on this podcast. For our readers, if anyone of you wants to connect with Wouter on social media, do check out the link in descriptions of this video. and see you on the next episode. Thank you.